you were part of the ECW originals, and that kind of seemed to be the beginning of the end of your WWE run. Did you know it was coming to an end? Did you figure, right, this isn't for me anymore? When was the moment when you decided you were going to leave?
We already talked about this. As soon as Vince said, my referees have to have credibility, I have to have rules on all the matches, and we'll just have one Extreme Rules match per show to make it ECW, even though they have tables, ladders, and chairs and all kinds of other on the other shows. I knew it was done. I knew that he was betraying the fans of ECW, and I don't know for sure, but I don't really believe that he thought he was going to be able to create a whole new market of ECW fans. He might have believed that. I mean, the guy has, he does have an ego. And there was a point when I was talking to him like early on about, doing the ECW pay-per-view. And I was saying something about one of his ideas that I didn't like or something. And he was like, oh, Rob, nobody remembers the old ECW. Oh my God. Yeah. I said, why do you think that people are chanting EC Dub in every building every night? And he actually said this. He said, we trained them to do that with the DVD. He actually said that. So maybe he thought that he could have a successful third brand, but I've always kind of felt like, did he bring it back to destroy it? Because one of the moments when I knew it was gone also was when he was the ECW champion.
The do-rag.
I was suspicious. I was very suspicious of his intentions at that point.
Well, you got out of Dodge, you left, and then you were in TNA for a while. And it always felt like, I remember you saying in an interview once that you were in TNA and you'd be going through an airport and they'd say, oh, I miss you, RVD. When can I see you? And you'd be like, I'm wrestling on Spike every week. Why do you think that TNA never got to the next level?
I almost feel like they don't care. And I don't know if that's true, but I wrestled for them from 2010 to 2012, and I wrestled again for them 2019, 2020. Is that right? They always draw the same 700 people, it seems like. And not the same people, but the same size crowd, and they don't seem too excited about any ideas for expanding brand recognition, things like that. They don't. I tried the first time I tried working with them about different ideas about putting their brand on different products and stuff, but I think that they're comfortable. I really do, because the whole time I was there, the first time, wrestlers would tell me, outside wrestlers, hey, I don't know if you know the news, but they're not going to be around much longer. I don't want you to be surprised, your employer's not going to be around much longer. And then months later, we're still there. They'd say, oh, you know what, it's real now. I'm reading all over the internet. TNA is not going to last, so you better, I just wanted to warn you, you better be ready. And they never skipped a beat. They just keep going. I feel like they're funded somehow. And that they're just comfortable in their own little bubble, in their own world. Yeah.
What were the biggest differences working for Vince McMahon in comparison to working for Dixie Carter?
Oh my God. It's like working for a huge corporation and then comparing that to wrestling to someone, with just a few personnel that you're dealing directly, because there's Vince, then he has his team of minions under him, they have their team of minions underneath them, and it's set up that way strategically in a good way, so that Vince has a lot of his issues taken care of. But there, it was a much smaller house. Dixie really wanted all of us to feel like we had a personal relationship with her. I feel like that was important to her, which was cool. But I also feel like she always just trusted people, and not in the best way. I think she trusted people, gave them money to make her money, and it's the wrestling business, and everyone's a hustler. So I think that she had a team of people underneath her that were serving their best interests. In fact, when I got there, I heard from somebody in the industry that there was actually what's the word? Not sabotage. When you're stealing from within the company, espionage. This is the word I'm looking for. Not just stealing from the company. I legitimately heard names, and they would be the names that you would guess that were there when I went in 2010, when they were trying to compete with WWE and go live, They were the top guys there in the office, and, I was told that these guys were straight up just there, to bring the company down and fill their own pockets. And I heard some evidence that made it pretty believable. I don't know for sure that it was true, but whatever it was just another thing that Dixie shrugged off her, rubbed it off her shoulder and just kept going forward. And now the company keeps doing the same thing even without her.